Um, Today is the January 23rd, 2022. I finally finished this fiction, The Miner by Soseki Natsume. I made a video a while back talking about Haruki Murakami's introduction section, and I really liked his introduction section. And after that, I kind of set aside and I didn't start to read. But now, once you start to read, it's grabbed me, and I couldn't put it away there. And it was very an urgent, powerful reading, and it's about a miner who used to live in Tokyo with his parents, sponging off from his parents, but something happened and he has to get away, and so he was wandering around in somewhere like Tsunomiya or Tochigi prefecture, and then he meet this recruiter for the miner, and so he was pretty much like down with his life. He's 19 years old, only young kids, but he had education, and so he went along with this recruiter to investigate this particular mine, I think the copper mine in the northwest side of Tochigi prefecture, in the mountainside. So like a half of this book is filled with this protagonist was taken to that particular mine, meeting a couple of other people, and seeing all the rugged mountain road, and so it's about halfway. Wow, it's like its entire book is like just going to the mine, but after halfway, I think they reach the mine, and then he was introduced to this leader to explore the mine. So he was taken to the mine, which was like pitch dark with a lantern only, and that particular part is probably another last half of this book, and so I don't know where this story going, and I was hoping that something fantastic happened. The one thing that about this book is that there's no chapter, so it's continuously going on all through, and so you have to stop at a new page and then you go back there, and so that's kind of a difficult, and also the thing is that the only thing that I liked is that this particular protagonist he's more decent, educated, young person. On the cave he got lost, mine actually, and he see this guy who was surprised to see him and so forth. And he told him, I got lost. So I will find a way. But this turned out to be a blessing, because this guy was among the old miners you come across. That this guy was very decent and very educated, and he told the story what happened to him and so forth. But he was very, very nice to him, and so he get the direction. And so this toward the end, I don't want to spoil. Probably I shouldn't spoil the ending. Yeah, I think it is very much worthwhile reading because Soseki's writing is fascinating, and always this interesting thing comes up, and the story was gripping, and even though you are describing all the mines, very dark, pitch dark, and you have a pit, and you have a water accumulated at the bottom, and the ladders and all these things you don't see well, and but still very, very fascinating to read. And yeah, I think this, the Haruki Murakami has this little right up here. It makes me very happy to know that even now I can read this novel written over 100 years ago as if it were a contemporary account, and be deeply affected by it. It cannot and should not be overlooked. It is one of my favorites. So that's Haruki Murakami's comment there. And so I kind of agree. Soseki's book, I tried to read the I Am a Cat. I'm a Cat is like a thick book, and it didn't have a grasp of the thing there, and I kind of gave up on that. But this one, once you grabbed the storyline, it just goes all the way to the end, and it's very readable. So, I really recommend, even though this one is not his major fiction. Kokoro and the Sorekara, Mon, Sanshiro, something like that is his one of the most popular, some of the most popular books. And but this one, just like Haruki Murakami said, it's very difficult to read because of the subject matter, and but once you start to read, it's very, very fun to read, and so I would not recommend enough this book to anyone. And this one is translated by J. Rubin, and again, J. Rubin has the Haruki Murakami's introduction section in the very, very beginning, and he has his note, translators afterwards. Here, I haven't read that yet, but I like to read that too. So anyway, so I was kind of a little bit, overwhelmed and shaken by this book. So I hope you will read this book, Minor.